Hello and welcome to EUTV Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from Evangel University and around the region. I'm Cadence Washam.
We'll also look at college games across the nation and check out the latest happenings in professional sports. I'm Nathan Amati, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. How about the XFL game?
Yeah, so the XFL is full on week 2, so that is amazing.
Yeah, and further into the program, we'll be also looking at the men's and women's basketball for Evangel and the stories about what happened during those games as well. Awesome. With this being Evangel's second game in the Hart Conference, Evangel came ready to play. Hosted in Peru, Nebraska, this game started out with high energy from Evangel. During the first half, Evangel was able to put up 28 points, but sadly left the first half 3 points under Nebraska. In the second half, Evangel was able to tie up the scores, forcing the game into overtime. During overtime, Nebraska's defenses showed strong, which led to the defeat of Evangel with a final score of 71-76. Evangel's women's basketball team also was defeated with a score of 82-92. Evangel lost to Clark.
The Evangel Valor softball team played well this past weekend as they beat William Baptist in both games, winning 7-4 and 2-1. Mariah Hanner was the hero for the Valor, going 5 out of 7 at the plate on Saturday, including 3 home runs. Hayner, a senior for Evangel, drove in 6 of the 9 runs this weekend. The first game was dominated by the Valor as they scored 4 times in the 5th inning. However, the second game was much closer. It was 1-1 until the 6th inning. Megan Stone hit a suicide squeeze bunt to score the winning run for Evangel. Evangel baseball also traveled to Arkansas to face off against Williams Baptist. The ace for the Valor, Austin Dill, took the mound, striking out 12 batters in 6 innings. Despite the strong pitching, Evangel still trailed 3-2 at the 2nd inning. And because of that, Evangel did not take the lead again until scoring 3 runs total between the 7th and 8th inning. Carson Stratafont led the Valor offense, going 2 out of 3 with 3 RBIs in the win. Overall, the Valor improved to 12-3 on the year, claiming back-to-back victories after a 3-game losing streak.
Evangel's men's and women's tennis went up against John Brown University Golden State this last Saturday in Springfield, Missouri. During the men's tennis, during the whole match, the Golden Eagles gave Evangel a run for their money. Near the end of the match games, it became apparent that the Evangels completely demolished the Golden Eagles by winning 6 out of the 9 total games. Evangel's women's tennis also played on Saturday against the Golden Eagles. Even though they tied up wins for the singles games, Evangels dominated in double games, claiming victory for Evangel. So yeah, when it comes to the baseball games and the softball, how's those been going?
Yeah, so Mariah Hanner hit 3 home runs this weekend, which is props to her. Way to go, girl. And then Austin Dill had 12 strikeouts, which is outstanding. So yeah.
Wow.
How about men's and women's tennis?
You know, we didn't do so good at the very beginning, but we've improved our game. And just to see how the men's tennis has improved, same with the women's tennis. We won both games. It just makes it very exciting to see what's going to happen in these next few games as we go through the season.
Yeah. So coming up next, I'll be here with Evangel golf player Tayton Hopkins.
And later we'll look at some of the big games in college basketball and week 2 of the XFL. We'll be right back.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Jack Frost, you do have beautiful teeth.
My what?
Are they really as white as they say? Yes. Oh, they really do sparkle like freshly fallen snow. This is an excellent example of what teeth should look like. Check out the iridescence of that incisor, the beauty of that bicuspid, the magnificence of those molars. And the best way to achieve such terrific teeth is brushing. 2 minutes, twice a day. Not 30 seconds, not a minute 45. 2 minutes. That's all it takes. They're beautiful.
Well, come on, man.
Welcome back. I'm here with Evangel golf player Tayton Hopkins. Tayton, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what point of the season is the golf team currently in?
Yeah, so we rounded out the fall, had a good few tournaments there. We're getting ready to travel up to Lawrence, Kansas next week on Sunday for our first tournament of the spring.
Cool. So y'all have 2 seasons, fall and spring?
Yeah, so the fall we play like 5, 6 tournaments, and the spring we'll play 6 or 7. And the spring's kind of where it matters most. So.
Yeah, cool. And then what matches are you looking most forward to this season?
The first one on the schedule that's probably the most important is Prairie Dunes in Hutchinson, Kansas. I think it's called the Sterling College Invite. And then the second one, I'd have to say, was the conference tournament, which rounds out our spring season.
And then what makes them 2 tournament plays most important?
Prairie Dunes probably just because like the competition's so high. We get a couple Division I teams. OU was actually there last year, University of Oklahoma, and so the competition really gets high. So I think that brings the competitive level up, and everyone wants to play at that level. So.
Yeah, and so opening weekend is next week. So how does the preparation change since it is so close?
We've kind of rounded out our top 5 going into this next week, and so it goes from less of trying to earn your spot to more of we're going to fine-tune things going in and make sure we're ready to go for the style of course we're going to and playing in the wind because obviously we're going to be up in Kansas. So just trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so you played football previously to golf. So what's the difference of football and what's the difference of golf, like the mentality of an individual sport compared to a team sport?
Yeah, I mean, football, like, you could do your job and you could still get a touchdown scored on you if somebody else on the team doesn't. And so you take more of almost like a pride in your own work, knowing if I do my best, it'll benefit the team rather than I need to do my part. So I think like my mindset going in switched from I'm going to do my specific job to I'm going to just perform at the highest level that I can perform, and then hopefully everyone else does behind me.
Yeah, so football is a lot different. You aren't having someone out there tackle you on the golf course, obviously. And then what are some of the challenges you have faced this season and going into this upcoming season?
Yeah, I've been kind of injury prone. So I've been dealing with a shoulder injury, which has actually resulted in some wrist problems through some nerve issues. So trying to figure that out, and then honestly just getting back in tournament shape. So, I mean, obviously took a couple weeks off through December and January, and then just making sure I'm ready to go and back where I was at in the fall for this upcoming tournament in the spring.
Yeah. And then are there certain aspects of golf that are more challenging than other aspects?
Yeah, I mean, I think as Ben Hogan said, golf's 90% mental, and I think that's 100% true. I mean, every aspect of it, you have to be on. It's like a chess game for 4 hours. You have to be on point for 4 hours straight and not miss a beat. So I think that's probably the most challenging thing.
Yeah. And then how long have you been playing golf, and what made you decide to play golf?
Yeah, so I've been playing golf since I played my first tournament when I was 9 years old.
Nice.
And so I just kept doing it. It was just another chance to compete. And then I took 3 years off, obviously, COVID, my senior year of high school, didn't get to play then, and then came to Evangel and just played football for the first 2 years, and then last spring actually switched over to golf. So yeah, just trying to stay competitive.
Yeah, and then on the team of Evangel golf team, like what's like the team, like how's the community life and everything?
It's really good. I mean, obviously, we only take 5 or 6 each tournament. Yeah. We don't take everybody, so the 5 or 6 kind of stays the same throughout the year. So you get really close to those 5 guys because you're staying in either a hotel or an Airbnb. Mm-hmm. So you develop some like really good relationships with the guys you're traveling with and with coach, and so I think it's really good.
Yeah, and then do you have one professional golf player that you just look up to the most?
I think mine would be Scotty Scheffler. He just how he balances his faith with also competing at a high level and realizing he's going to compete just to glorify God as he plays, and that win or loss, I mean, nothing really changes about him.
That's awesome. And then why did you choose Evangel?
I just love the people. I think the community was great. I think like obviously the academics are good, but I think just like the community and overall like feel of campus was what drove me here.
Definitely. And then what would be one piece of advice that you would give an upcoming athlete here at Evangel?
Probably just like perfect your craft. Just keep working at it. It's gonna be tough at times. It's gonna kind of suck. I mean, getting up at super early in the morning isn't always fun, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah. And then what kind of does y'all's practice schedules look like?
So we work out twice a week in season, which we're doing now. And then about 1 o'clock, we go out to the course until dark every day. And then once tournament season starts, we'll travel on Sundays and then practice around Sunday afternoon. And then Monday and Tuesday, we're playing either 36 or 18 holes a day at a tournament, and then we'll come back and then do it all again the next week. Oh,
wow. So y'all have a lot of practices on y'all's belts. Well, that is amazing. Well, thank you for being here, Tayton. Coming up, we'll look at some of the results of the latest college basketball games, as well as the XFL and NBA. Stay tuned.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism. In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
You're not sitting here. Yes, I am. Move! Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
On Saturday the 25th, the Boston Celtics played against the Philly 76ers in Philadelphia. After exchanging the lead a couple of times through the first 3 quarters, the 76ers seemed to slow down. This allowed Boston to fight back and take the lead. Not only did Boston take the lead, they fought to keep it till the very end. When it looked like the game would have gone into overtime, Jason Tatum, with 2 seconds left on the clock, hurled and sunk a three-pointer, breaking the tie and allowing the victory for Boston with a final score of 110-107.
With just a short turnaround from their previous game earlier this week, the St. Louis Battlehawks traveled to Seattle to face the Sea Dragons on Thursday night. The Sea Dragons got the early lead, scoring a 29-yard field goal by Dom Eberle, making the score 3-0 for the Sea Dragons. In the second half, both teams' offenses came alive, and by halftime, the score was 12-8 with Seattle ahead. The fourth quarter really determined the outcome of this game. St. Louis scored 12 in the second half, and Seattle scored only 6, leaving the score of the game St. Louis Battlehawks 20, Seattle Sea Dragons 18. In Iowa City, Iowa, Michigan State took on Iowa in what turned out to be an overtime rally for Iowa. Iowa defeated Michigan State 112-106. There were 8 ties and 9 lead changes in the first half. The largest lead of the half was 6 points when Iowa led 24-18, lasting only for 1 possession. At the end of the first half, it was tied 42-42. Iowa trailed 91-78 with only 1 minute and 34 seconds remaining in the game before catching a fire from a 3-point distance. The Hawkeyes made 6 of the 9 3-pointers in the final minute and a half, including the last 4 in a row in the final 32 seconds to tie the game. Tony Perkins scored 10 of the 11 points for the Hawkeyes, having them to get the extra stretch they needed to secure the win.
On Saturday in Salt Lake City, women's basketball teams Utah and Stanford went head-to-head in an epic game. In the first 2 quarters, the leads went back and forth between the teams. By the time the third quarter began, Utah started to create a gap in points, leading to a gap of 12 points. Stanford did their best to close the gap, which they got close in the end of the fourth quarter. But as Stanford drew close, Utah found the drive to finish the game and won with a final score of 84-78. So yeah, those XFL games.
Yeah, so the Battlehawks were down the whole entire game, and just at the last quarter, they came back and beat the Sea Dragons, which is amazing.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was. How was the Celtics game?
It was really, really good. It was like a lot of back and forth between the game during the first 3 quarters, and then when it got to the end of the game, just to see Tatum just to lob that 3-pointer at the very end of the game, it was an amazing game.
Yeah, that's awesome. When we come back, we'll have the EUTV Player of the Week.
We'll also have upcoming Evangel games this week. We'll be right back.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers. The first pitch is fouled between back.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
It's time now for the EUTV Sports Player of the Week.
This week's EUTV Sports Player of the Week is Mariah Hanner of the Evangel softball team. Hanner had a stellar weekend when she propelled the softball team's offense into a scoring frenzy. Hanner was responsible for 3 home runs on Saturday. This helped contribute to 9 runs scored across the 2 games. Hanner finished the day with 4 runs, 6 RBIs on 3 home runs. Congratulations to Mariah. Yeah, Mariah Hanner, she did a really great job when it came to the softball.
Yeah, she really led the team this weekend in home runs, RBIs, and everything. Way to go, Mariah.
Way to go, Mariah. And now let's go to the upcoming games of the week. First, we have softball happening on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 1st, 4th, and 5th versus Cody College, Nebraska Kearney, and Missouri Baptist at home and far away as well.
And for track and field, they'll have their NAI National Championship this weekend in South Dakota.
For baseball, we have a game on Friday and Saturday, both happening at home versus Harris Stowe.
And for men's tennis, they'll have a match Saturday, March 4th at 1 p.m. at the Cooper Tennis Complex.
And for women's tennis, we have a game on Saturday on March 4th at the Cooper Tennis Complex as well. Way to go, Evangel Valor. Yeah, just there's so many games that are happening at home this weekend. I'm really excited about.
Yeah, we have baseball, softball, tennis. You have just about all the sports.
And don't forget the NAIA that's happening.
Yeah, the track championship is this weekend. So good luck to our athletes competing in that.
Let's go, Evangel Valor.
Yeah.
Well, that's all for the time that we have for today for Sports Update. I'm Nathan Amati.
And I'm Cadence Washam. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.